Hello everybody, Pounding Rocks checking in. And yeah, there was a post I made probably about 2 weeks ago about how I'm going to pretty much discontinue updating this channel for now. It comes out of just disappointment in the YouTube system, and just kind of frustration that this project really never gained as much interest as I thought it would. I mean, it's pretty radical build for someone who's really just kind of been a catalog shopper prior to this. I thought that there would be a lot of interest in a 1992 Pathfinder with a two-wheel drive V6 cab, Xterra power plant, transmission swap, custom bed, just a crazy build like this. But apparently it's more niche than I ever thought it would be. And I'm not really like terribly concerned about being popular with the Nissan people, but I just thought that overall as a build that it would get more than 200 views per upload. I've got videos that have been up for at least 2 months now that haven't even broken 200 views, and I've got tags on them, I've got pictures. It just seems like it just doesn't gain any traction on YouTube as a whole. So I've decided to kind of just build it for myself. Still gonna post some stuff on Instagram, but I think overall I'm kind of done trying to impress the world with what I'm doing. I think I'm just gonna build it for myself, go and have fun with it myself, and if somebody sees it and likes it, I'll obviously stop and talk to them about it. But for the most part, I really am not going to try and chase viewers down to try and be like, look what I did. Because I mean, the build itself should have been, pretty interesting, but YouTube just never really took off for me in this regard. Some of the technical stuff that I've done for the channel has taken off. I've had some videos that are like how-tos that really have done well, but in terms of actually building something, it's been like, just disappointing, let's just say. But I didn't want to leave the hardcore fans that have been with me for a long time and are actually enjoying this build empty-handed. I don't want to leave you empty-handed while I go away. First off, if you're not on Instagram, you can find me on Instagram. It is Rainmaker_D21. I seem to be receiving a lot more love there than YouTube ever did. I'm not really updating this truck on infamousnissan.com either. Every time I've posted it on infamousnissan.com, I've gotten more thumbs down than thumbs up. So that's a different market, and I stopped at trying to win the approval over there. Still a great website by all means. Check it out. There's a lot of great info. There's a lot of great stuff going on over there. I'm just not really pushing this build on them anymore. So do check it out on Instagram. I have every intention of finishing this project. I do want to drive this thing. I am still very excited and very attached to this thing, and I really do want to see it do some cool stuff, take it some places, do some cool vacationing, get out of town kind of stuff, just stuff like that. So I decided to dress it up a little bit for you guys, put the fenders on, put the core support on, the headlights, so it kind of does look like the truck that it was meant to be. Not in its completed state, but at least it's a little bit more presentable, and you can kind of see where I'm going with it, where my head's at on it and everything. This is what I've done so far. This is what I'm gonna leave you with. The ignition coil. Well, first off, the Xterra does not use an ignition coil. Everything's contained within the distributor itself and is controlled by the computer. but that's not the case with the 3.0. So you've got the coil and the resistor. I've got connectors here for those two. You've seen that in the past. There's no real place to put them over here. So I got smart. I went to the junkyard and I found this bracket setup which holds the charcoal canister. These got two mounting holes. The 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder coil packs are basically the same. Same shape, same size, same dimension and everything. So I'm going to take a 4-cylinder coil pack and put a 6-cylinder coil pack in its place and use these two mounting holes to mount it. This is a 4-cylinder thing, and it's also prior to 1995. So I went to the yard and I got it. So I'm just going to stretch the wiring all the way back and around and have the coil and the resistor here the way the 4-cylinder would have. And then the coil can just go straight to the distributor with a shorter spark plug wire, with a shorter ignition wire there. So that's one thing that is more or less like 3/4 of the way solved here. This was a nice $2, I think, maybe $5. The catch can, I started installing that. Nissan is nice enough to leave you a little bracket here attached to the fuel filter housing. I'm just going to lop these off so they don't puncture the fuel filter. The PCV valve on the supercharged engine is on the passenger side valve cover, so I'm going to run a hose from that to this, and then this to this fitting right here where that connects. So that'll be a system where I'm not blowing oil directly into the blower itself. That'll help save lives. I went back to the junkyard and I found a bracket, an AC and alternator bracket that doesn't have all the bolts broken off. $10 later, I've got the bracket in place here. It's all good to go. I don't have to mess around with actually like removing bolts and trying to tap and thread and all this other stuff. It's just done. It's over with there. So these pulleys are now in place here. Y'all know that I'm not going with an AC compressor. So I need to come up with some kind of way to get the belt to come up from this pulley and go around where the compressor used to be. There is no bypass that you can buy, like a Chevy or something like that. You can do a bypass that way. I'm not doing a bypass like that. I actually got creative. I'll show you here in a second, but I just want to show you these pulleys. The belt should come up, go around this pulley, go underneath this pulley, and then up to the blower, and then back down and on the back side of this pulley, and then back down to the crank. That's how that system should go. Without the compressor, you have no way of being able to do that because these are both flat pulleys. You don't want to damage your belt. So I got creative. A bunch of years ago, I went to a car show out in Syracuse, New York, and I came across some metal tabs that are actually for shock mounts. And I repurposed them. Now don't laugh at my welding job, but this is now welded to a spare set of pulleys that I scored from the junkyard a few weeks ago. I'm just waiting for a pulley to come in the mail that a buddy of mine down in Tennessee, Robert from Infamous Nissan, is sending me a pulley, and I will mount this up with a bushing, and then what's going to happen is that the belt can now go around the pulley underneath this pulley here, up to the blower, back down on the back side of this pulley, and then finding its way down to the crank pulley. I thought that I was pretty creative in this regard here. So it's pretty solid. It's not the best welding job, and when the pulley's on it, you'll never know that I can't weld for shit. But whatever works. You know, I've banged this around a lot, and it really is not going to have so much tension it's just going to rip that out or anything like that. The headers, the driver's side header, I took it over to my buddy's shop in this morning, and not fixable. They actually had formed, one of the tubes had formed a pinhole on the inside of it. You can't get a welder into it, and it would be just a quagmire to try and fix it. So I ended up using Uncle Joe's check to order a new set of headers, pace setter headers. These headers are just, you know, I'll save them maybe one day I can do some kind of cob job fix, but I don't want to cob anything on this. I'd rather, you know, do it properly. So like, you can laugh at this weld, and this is kind of cobbed, but this is the test mule. If this works out, like if I put the pulley on this thing and then the geometry works properly and I can get the bushing set properly, I have another one, and I'll weld it here, and I'll actually do a much better job welding it on here, and then I'll paint it just the same as this and everything. So I'm taking this one with me so I can test it off the truck and make sure that it works. Yeah, so that is what I have done, and that is sadly where I'm going to leave you. I think what I will do, if you're following this at all, you're going to find me on Instagram anyways. So you'll be able to see it. You'll be able to know where the truck's at. The next video on this thing, and I can't even tell you when it's going to be, but the next video that's going to have this truck in it will just be the truck driving. It'll just be the test video of it driving around in the yard or driving up and down the street, or who knows. But it's not going, I'm not doing any more technical updates on this thing. It's just, you know, it's uninspiring for me to have all this going on, film all this, and then have YouTube suppress it or just have a general lack of interest in it. I'm not sure which one it is, but you know, it's been, I started this channel in 2013, and it started out as just, you know, me just shooting stupid stuff, some autocross stuff and all that, some car shows, junkyard stuff or whatever, and then it morphed into a vlog where we were following my red truck when it was sitting over here, where this 496 powered Chevy is sitting. It was sitting over here, and we followed it from me ripping the suspension out, rebuilding it, and even that series was not as popular as I thought it would be. It's had a few high number videos, but overall no one really followed it from beginning to end. I don't know if it was something that I did wrong, or if it's just, as I said, just a lack of interest or YouTube. And then this truck, when I bought it, you know, the first video of the series, the very first one where I buy the truck, has got the highest number of views, and then it just continues to taper off. And as I said, I've uploaded videos about a month and a half ago about this, and one of the videos hasn't even broken 200 views. I mean, literally, dudes and ladies, I have over 200 videos on YouTube, and it's just, the numbers are just pathetic and not really worth the time. So Instagram it is. Maybe I'll end up on another source or another video program like BitChute or Dailymotion. I have no idea. But I do know that I am very happy that whoever followed this did. I want to thank you for following this, for this. I don't understand how 3,000 plus subscribers only equals 200 views in a video. That's my biggest dilemma. I have over 3,000 subscribers and I only get barely squeak 200 views in a video. So I don't know why people are subscribing and not watching the videos. I don't really get it. So anyways, thank you to the people who do watch the videos, and thank you to the people who have sent me messages. I've got a lot of awesome hardcore fans that are really, you know, inspiring to hear from, and I want to thank them. And I do this to, you know, to help the community, because, you know, not everybody takes them down like this and builds them back up. Some of them are daily drivers and they can't afford to do this, and other ones have really just never seen something like this made. And I know I haven't. I know that Pathfinder pickup trucks are not, you know, uncommon, and I know that supercharged ones are not uncommon, but to blend the two of them, it's kind of a different thing, and maybe that's what's causing it. I don't know. But either way, as I said, Instagram, I love you guys. I want to thank you guys, and I hope that the next video will be this truck running down the road, doing some four-wheel drive stuff, making an awesome supercharger whining noise. And I think that, you know, that'll be the next video that this does. I can't promise you when that'll be, I'm still tootling along. I have a lot of work. For every bolt I've turned on this thing, I've had to turn 100 more. But I'm hoping someday. So thank you very much. Pounding Rocks is now tuning out. If you have any questions or comments, just find me on Instagram, rainmaker_D21. And thank you. Take it easy now. Bye-bye.